Imagine the battlefield drenched in moonlight, silence hanging heavy as one figure steps forward. Upper Moon 1, Kokushibo, the living nightmare forged in Muzan's eternal curse. His 6 eyes glimmer like blades, each unblinking gaze cutting deeper than swords, his presence alone enough to drown the air in suffocating inevitability. Then, one by one, the Hashira gather, the last line of humanity's defense, each breathing style burning brighter than torches, fighting desperately against the endless night. Flames flicker on Rengoku's blade, wind howls through sanemi's strikes, water flows with Giyu's calm resolve, while Mitsuri's love burns with strength powerful enough to shatter stone. But against Kokushibo, even the most radiant Hashira feel like flickering candles before a hurricane, their courage tested against a demon who once dreamed as a man. He doesn't attack with rage, he moves with elegance, a swordsman's grace twisted into monstrous eternity, his blade flowing like death itself, unbroken, unstoppable. Every strike from him is not just steel, it's memory, it's regret, it's centuries of battle crystallized into an art form no human could ever master. The clash begins. Sanemi charges, reckless fury igniting the wind, his strikes wild, merciless. But Kokushibo barely shifts, parrying with precision so cold it feels almost inhuman. Giyu steps in, calm water meeting raging storm, their blades striking like lightning against waves, but each contact sends shockwaves, the Hashira barely holding ground. Then Mitsuri leaps, her blade bending like a whip, muscles burning beyond mortal limits, her strikes fast, unpredictable, fueled by a love stronger than death. Kokushibo smiles, an expression not of joy, but of sorrow. Because to him, these warriors are not enemies, but fleeting flames he has extinguished countless times before. Yet the Hashira don't falter. For every strike blocked, every bone broken, their spirits burn brighter. Because their battle isn't survival, it's sacrifice for a world worth saving. The air shakes as blades carve through night, sparks flying like shooting stars, a symphony of death painted against the fragile canvas of the moonlit battlefield. For a moment, it feels like balance, like the strongest of humanity can truly stand against the first demon born of despair. But deep down, unease lingers. Kokushibo hasn't even revealed his true power yet. Every movement so far has been measured, patient, like a predator testing prey before the killing blow. And that realization cuts deeper than any blade. The thought that even all Hashira together may not be enough to overcome a monster who transcended mortality. Rengoku's flame roars, brighter than ever, a fire promising hope. But hope alone cannot sever the nightmare that has watched centuries bleed under its gaze. Still, the Hashira fight not with illusions of victory, but with the desperate will to buy time, to prove humanity's heart beats louder than eternal silence. Their blades cross again, sparks exploding like constellations, but behind the beauty lies dread, because each second reveals how far Kokushibo's strength stretches beyond human comprehension. And in that haunting clash of light and shadow, one chilling question rises. Who among the Hashira will stand at dawn, and who will be swallowed by endless night?
Kokushibo finally exhales, his blade shifting into a stance whispered only in legends, moon-breathing, a style carrying centuries of forgotten sorrow, ready to drown the battlefield in merciless beauty. The ground splits as arcs of crescent blades erupt, moonlit slashes spiraling across the air, cutting through trees, earth, and flesh alike, reminding everyone this is power beyond mortal reach. Sanemi roars defiantly, blood dripping, his body refusing collapse, because pride demands he stand until his last breath, even as each strike tears closer to shattering his very existence. Mitsuri intercepts, her muscles screaming as she twists her blade into impossible shapes, parrying death itself, her smile trembling yet unbroken, a reminder that love resists despair. But Kokushibo doesn't falter. His 6 eyes track every movement, his expression almost mournful, as if pitying these warriors who fight so fiercely against a fate already sealed. Giyu, silent as the tide, steps forward again, his water breathing flowing like a river cutting stone, every movement honed through endless loss, carrying memories of fallen comrades. Their blades crash, steel against steel, yet the weight is unequal. Giyu's resolve colliding with centuries of mastery, sparks scattering like raindrops swallowed into a storm. And then Rengoku's flame cuts through, roaring brighter than ever. His spirit, though long gone, echoes through memory, inspiring his comrades to burn without fear, even when hope wanes. Kokushiba's blade answers, a tide of lunar fury, carving wounds across earth and flesh, yet his strikes feel less like cruelty and more like inevitability itself. Every Hashira bleeds, but not one kneels. Their will binds them together, an unspoken oath. If even one falls, the others will fight until the final heartbeat. The air thickens with killing intent, every breath heavy with iron. The battlefield no longer just a fight, but a collision between humanity's fragile resolve and eternity's merciless hunger. Mitsuri cries out, her blade shattering into sparks, her body staggering under the force, yet in her trembling voice there's no fear, only love desperate to protect life. Sanemi forces himself up again, body torn, vision blurring, muttering through clenched teeth, "If I fall, let it be buying one more second for them to strike." Giyu's eyes narrow, his breathing steady, his silence unshaken, as if the weight of every fallen comrade now flows through his veins, demanding that he carry their will forward. Kokushibo sees them not as enemies, but reflections, ghosts of what he once was, a man chasing perfection, shackled by choices that damned him to endless night. And for a fleeting heartbeat, his 6 eyes soften, haunted by memory, by the face of his brother, a wound deeper than any blade carved into his immortal flesh. But mercy never follows. His next strike rends the sky itself, an ocean of crescent blades raining down like divine punishment, drowning every Hashira in moonlit annihilation. The battlefield glows with silver arcs, blood and sparks mingling in the night, and still voices rise. Hashira refusing silence, shouting defiance through pain, through fear, through despair. Each cry is a vow to humanity. We will not vanish quietly. We will fight until even our broken bodies remind the world why we stood. And in that storm of blades and blood, the line blurs between survival and sacrifice, leaving one chilling question. Can courage alone carve through the eternal shadow of the moon? The dust clears, the battlefield carved into ruin, bodies trembling, yet not a single Hashira bows. Because even in the shadow of death, humanity refuses to surrender. Kokushibo steadies his blade, his 6 eyes burning like dying stars, torn between admiration and cruelty, as though every strike he delivers cuts through his own fractured soul. Giyu lunges again, water crashing forward, blade shimmering with moonlit reflection, his silence more powerful than any scream, as though every fallen comrade speaks through his unwavering strike.
Kokushibo parries effortlessly, yet his gaze lingers, perhaps haunted, perhaps envious, of warriors who fight not for perfection, but for love, for bonds, for something eternity can never grasp. Mitsuri collapses to her knees, blood painting the soil, yet her trembling lips whisper love's vow. I will not let their light fade, no matter how dark. Sanemi stumbles forward, vision fading, body nearly broken, yet his laughter echoes, wild and defiant. You'll never understand us, monster. We're not fighting to live, we're fighting to die right. Kokushibo's blade arcs again, beautiful and merciless, cutting Sanemi's words into silence. Yet even then, his laughter hangs in the air, like an unbroken scar of defiance. The Hashira know now, victory isn't survival. Victory is ensuring Kokushibo remembers them, remembers the humanity he abandoned, remembers the fire that even eternity could never extinguish. Giyu presses forward, blood dripping, his blade heavier with every swing, yet his eyes remain clear as though accepting that his fate is already written in sacrifice. Kokushibo's crescent slash collides with Giyu's final strike, sparks flooding the night,
a clash not of equals, but of ideals, perfection against perseverance, eternity against fleeting yet radiant life. For an instant, time stops, the stars themselves pausing, as if the universe waits to see whether light or darkness claims this battlefield drowned in sorrow. Kokushibo's blade breaks through, rending flesh, scattering blood, yet his 6 eyes widen, not from triumph, but from the haunting weight of humanity's final, unyielding gaze upon him. Because even as bodies fall, as silence spreads, the Hashira spirit lingers, their courage echoing louder than any victory, an unspoken legacy carved into the night sky. Kokushibo stares at their fallen forms, his chest heavy, as though the perfection he sought feels emptier in the face of sacrifices he can never truly comprehend. For the first time in centuries, his hands tremble, not from weakness, but from the memory of bonds he severed, of a brother's love he could never reclaim. The battlefield grows quiet, ash settling like snow, yet the silence is not defeat. It is a reminder, a testament that courage can shake even eternity's cruel throne. And perhaps that's the truth. The Hashira may fall, but their defiance survives, echoing through generations, reminding humanity that even gods and demons must tremble before unbroken resolve. Kokushibo sheaves his blade, his expression unreadable, walking into shadows, but his 6 eyes carry weight now, haunted by warriors who proved eternity itself is not untouchable. The battlefield remains scarred, soaked in sacrifice, yet through ruin, hope flickers still, because where one flame falls, another arises, and humanity's story will never end in silence. And as the moon fades, you realize the question was never who survives. The question is who endures. And in that answer, the Hashira have already won.